All right, I have several examples in your notes, and we're going to apply the double angle identities in each of these. And again, we're not going to be working with unit angles. We're going to be working with angles that are going to be given to us. So in example 1, they're asking us to use the cosine of x in order to find the cosine of 2x. Since they only gave me cosine, I think I would probably choose to use this formula. The cosine of twice x would be 2 times the cosine squared of x minus 1. Now I think we need to stop and think about the fact that the original angle x is lying between pi over 2 and pi. If I double that amount, if I double this amount, the new angle 2x is going to lie somewhere between pi and 2 pi. So that means the angle I'm looking for would lie either in my third or fourth quadrant. I don't know which one it will lie in until after I solve the problem, and I'll be able to figure that out. If cosine were lying in the third quadrant, cosine value should be negative. If cosine is lying in the fourth quadrant, cosine would be positive. Now here's where I start losing some people, but please pay attention. I'm taking this formula and replacing u with x. And that square on that means take the cosine value and square it. So I've written it this way in my problem just to help everybody understand. I'm going to take that cosine value and square it. So at this point, it's just substitution. If I look back up in my problem, it said the cosine of x was negative 12/3. I take cosine of x out, and I put a number value in there, negative 12/13. If I'm going to simplify that, I'm going to square first, which gives me 144 over 169. Then I would multiply by 2 and then subtract 1. So you can see where I multiplied by 2 here, and then I changed 1 into 169 over 169. And lastly, I will subtract my numerators and get 119 over 169. That tells me that my original, not my original angle, but my 2x angle had to be lying in the fourth quadrant. So once I enlarged it, it was going to be in the fourth quadrant. All right, let's move on to the next example that I have. It says the sine of alpha is a negative 3/5. Alpha is in the third quadrant, right, between pi and 3 pi over 2. So now where would 2 alpha lie? If I square this, it would be 2 pi to 3 pi. That means I'm going a second time around my unit circle, and lying between 2 pi and 3 pi would put me in quadrants 1 and 2 on my second rotation around the unit circle. For any angle in first and second quadrant, my sign is going to be positive in both of those situations. So as I'm working my arithmetic, I should get a positive answer here. So if I'm trying to find the sine of an angle doubled, this is the only formula I have. 2 times whatever the sine of alpha is times the cosine of alpha. So when I start trying to fill this in, I know the sine, but I don't know the cosine. So we have to go back over here to something we learned at the start of this semester. We have to think about sine alpha as negative 3 over 5. That's my y value. 5 is my r value. That angle is in the third quadrant because that's what it said in the instructions or the given part. So I am drawing myself triangle, reference triangle. Negative 3 is my y value.